What's going on, guys? Ryan here, and today we're gonna be fixing my truck. We're gonna be fixing this thing. I don't know where to start, but basically my truck has been not working for the past few weeks, and I really do need it. I have all of this junk right here to take to the dump. I have some of that other junk right here that I also need to take to the dump. And then I have a little bit of stuff that I actually need to get from my dad's, and I need my truck. And I also, the biggest thing is I need to get certain things from Home Depot in the next few weeks in order for me to complete the laundry room. I need all of this, and I need to do all of this, but this truck is what's preventing me from doing it. So, what's wrong with it? Well, not to go super in depth and give you dates and times and whatever, I'm just going to tell you the overall problem. We all know that last year I had put weed killer in my truck thinking it was gas. Now, if you want to hear more about that story, go here and watch that whole video. I probably explain it in depth about what happened and why I did it and how I fixed it. One of the things I replaced was the fuel pump. Now, in order to save some money, I bought like a cheaper fuel pump, and I think that's probably what's wrong, is that the fuel pump that I got only lasted about a year and then it crapped out. So, I think I need to replace it. And I think it's the fuel pump because all of the signs that I see right now are pointing to a fuel pump. The issue I was having was that I can start the truck up and it'll run perfectly fine and I can drive it for hours just fine. But the second I turn it off, it would occasionally not start. And then it was happening to the point where almost every time I shut it off after running it, it wouldn't start. And some signs pointed to some other areas. I asked in my Facebook group about like what it could be, and some people said, like there's this thing, there is a the PCM on the 5-volt rail, you have the crankshaft position sensor, you have the fuel pump, you have the fuel regulator, you have the this or that. And I ended up going through the list and looking up what would happen if this thing was faulty in your vehicle. And the symptoms were just not matching up to a couple of things. So I went through it and I found two things that I was like, okay, these two could probably potentially give me an issue. So I replaced those two things. It was the crankshaft position sensor and the pickup coil. I was originally going to replace the whole distributor, but I realized that it was going to be a lot of work and work that I wasn't ready for and things that, I just didn't really want to do. So I replaced the pickup coil instead because that was actually one of the problems that someone said, like, hey, this could be it. Now, I replaced those two things at the same time and my symptoms changed and it seemed like it worked because here is the big thing. I was able to drive it and I was able to turn it off and turn it back on. But the symptoms that I have now were that on the first cycle, the first time I cycled the key and tried to turn it on, I could sit there and I could be cranking it for hours and it won't start. But the second that I cycled the key a second time, it would start. Then, after doing, like, turning the car on and off, on and off, on and off, doing some, errands with my dad and my sister, and just, it was around the time of the yard sale. And so I was going and picking things up, coming down, loading it from the shop to the front yard, all that. And when I was done, I backed the truck up, and it started to die. And I was like, oh, let me put it in neutral. And it just went back to normal. And then I put it into reverse, and then it died. And then now it won't start at all. And I could sit there, cycle it like 30,000 times, it won't start. So I had purchased a fuel pressure tester, got in the mail and I tested the fuel pressure and there was zero. Zip. Nada. No pressure. And I was like, oh. Well, to me, that shows that the fuel pump is the problem. One of the like the symptoms of like a bad fuel pump is also the fact that like after, I don't know, running for a while, after it gets warmed up, it won't work again. So I don't know the actual problems, but so to cut to the chase, I need to replace the fuel pump. In order to do that, I need to drop the tank. Luckily, the tank is not full, but I still need to siphon all the gas out. I do have a siphon. I do have 2 empty gas cans, and I'm ready to do it. It is currently 8 o'clock in the morning on a Tuesday, and it is about 75 degrees outside. And my truck is kind of in the sun, and so I need to put up the canopy to try to block as much sun as possible so that I can be working on the truck and not be sweating profusely, because I hate being hot and I hate sweating. Today it's supposed to get up to 104, and I'm not looking forward to it. And I can't push my truck into the shop because I have all this junk, and I don't really want to take all the junk outside because there's already junk out there, and I don't want more because of mice and other critters. Even if I did push my truck into the shop, I'm not even sure if I could, but even if I did, and I drop the tank in it, because I have the AC in here, I drop the tank and I do all that work, I don't want, like, let's say if it doesn't work, I don't want all this junk to be outside, so I don't want to have to pull it back in, and I definitely don't want to put it in the back of the truck. So, what to do? I have my truck sitting out here in a decent spot. I will have to put cardboard down, I will have to put the canopy up, and I will just have to deal with it being hot. So I'm going to try to do it ASAP, as quick as possible, and we will just see how it works, and if it works. I did end up getting a more expensive fuel pump. It was about, I want to say like $100, but I'll put the actual price right here. And I was told that this fuel pump that I bought was kind of like the one that you should get because it's closer to OEM and it's just a better fuel pump. And I was like, well, as long as it works and it'll work over a year, then I'm fine. If it craps out on me after 3 years, I don't know. I may have got my money for it, my money out of it, because it really sucks. I've gotten stuck at Home Depot. I've gotten stuck at Walmart because my truck won't start. And so I would have to leave my truck there for the day, come back, and then try to start it, and most of the time it would start. Luckily, the last time it died was in my backyard. So let's get this thing started. All right. I don't even know what time it is. All right, it's about 9 o'clock now. So I don't know. It doesn't feel like I've been out here for about an hour, but I guess I have. Let me just show you the setup real quick. The one thing is, like, I need more of these, like, safety glasses, like clears. I have one that fits a lot better. That is like a sunglass, and I just can't wear that when I'm trying to work when there's like darkness and whatever. But these seal up to like right here, so my forehead and like my eyes, right, like my eyebrows start to get really hot and sweaty, and it starts dripping into the glasses and then making it all fogged up, and it's just terrible. I do not like these, but they have better coverage, as in even over here, up here, because it's sealed, and I feel like they are just like a little bit better with coverage, but they seal up so bad that it gets really hot. But anyways, a few pieces of cardboard laid out, and I don't know if you can tell, but that's where the tank used to be. I got it out. It wasn't too difficult. I already kind of scrubbed it around here so none of this dirt gets in there. I replaced this around March of last year, and it is currently July of 2024. So I also noticed when I was trying to siphon the gas out that there wasn't a whole lot of gas in it, and I think there's enough in there that it should have started, but I tried to siphon it out with my siphon and stuff, and nothing came out. So I was like, you know what? There's probably not a whole lot in there, and it's probably enough to. It should be enough to start, but it's just not enough to siphon out. So it was pretty easy to drop down without it like crushing me or anything. The hardest part was this piece right here, trying to get this kind of like, I don't know, pressed and then pull this part out. This was pretty easy. This was really easy. But let's go ahead and pull this off and take a look at it. This is the new one right here. Hopefully it fits. It should fit. It is for my vehicle. But I'm really hoping that this will work. And it looks a lot like it. I will need to take this blue piece off of the old one and put it on the new one. But let's find this out. One thing I'm noticing is this piece on the old one spins. Now I can't get it to, but it spins. This piece doesn't seem to spin on that one. So I don't know if that is also part of the problem, but they look identical, except for just a few differences. But I'm gonna go ahead and put it back in. There is like some fuel in there. You can't really tell, but there should be enough for it to actually run. All right, I got it switched out. I had one problem where the fuel filler like hose neck part wasn't attaching to the tank, so then I disconnected like the neck of it from like the gas cap area, and then I found out that like there's an O-ring and like two plastic O-rings, or washers, I guess you can call them. They were like falling out, so I think I put it back the way it was, or the way it should be. I don't know. I think I'm gonna have to replace that too. And you can't find, like, I can't find the actual like hose part, because it's like a special hose. It has like you pull it and then you can pull it out, or yeah, you pull it, no, you push it and then you can pull it out. It's weird. Like the hoses that I found on like Rock Auto and some other websites were basically just like silicone rubber hoses that had hose clamps on them that you like screw like these. It's time to actually try to start it now. If it doesn't start, is it because there's not a whole lot of fuel in it? To me, there should be enough for it to start. But if not, I might have to get some gas. Probably either later tonight, because Ellie's going to be leaving pretty soon, and she's going to take the car, and I don't really want to take the car and whatever. But I'm going to move the canopy, just because like the exhaust pipe's like right next to it. I'm going to take that down, and I'm going to put some of my stuff away, and then I'm going to try to start it. Let's see if this works. And I don't expect it to turn on right away because the lines are empty. I could tell it's starting to die. Yeah, it's starting to die. Okay, it is 10:30. I'm really hot and sweaty and dirty. It's about 90 degrees out now, and as you saw, it won't start. Now there could be a couple of reasons why. Could be the relay. It could be the fact that the lines are so, empty. It takes a while for the fuel to get there, blah, blah, blah. But I don't think that's the case. I don't know. I don't know what's wrong with it. So as of right now, I'm going to go inside. I'll probably take a shower and get cooled off. And I don't know what else to do about it. I could fill it with maybe 5 gallons of gas in case it is too low, but the fuel gauge at first said like a quarter of a tank, and I think now it's saying like on E. So I'm gonna go ahead and Ellie's leaving right now, so I can't go get gas, and I also can't jumpstart the truck. Honestly, I'm just going to go. I'm gonna be done for the day. This video is not. I don't think is over. Because I would really like to try to start it again once I get more gas and I charge the battery or I jump start it. But like I said, I'm really hot, really sweaty, really dirty. I'm gonna go inside and just cool off. It is way too hot. I am glad that I did not take any of the garbage out of here, and did all that work to get the truck inside, mainly because the truck doesn't start. And I do need it in a couple weeks. Like, first full week of August. Technically, the first full week of August is not when I need it. I need it before that. And it seems like I will have to either borrow a truck from somebody or rent one. Because I can't be doing all the things that I want to do with a car. I have to have a truck. I have to have some way to haul it. I don't know what to do with it, honestly. I don't know. But that's it for me. It really sucks. Okay, I'm using my phone for this because I don't want to go inside and get my camera. But I just put roughly 5 gallons of gas in the truck, and then I hooked up Ellie's car to jumper cables to the truck, and it actually started on like the first cycle, and after like 4 or 5 cranks. So there's like a couple things I'm thinking about here. Is that possibly there wasn't enough gas and that's why it died, like it ran out of gas, but the gas light wasn't on, and I felt like enough gas in there for the pump to suck up. So I don't understand why, because when I pulled the old fuel pump out, the whole like bottom part, especially where the filter is, that was all wet. So I don't know, but I'm gonna turn it off and try to turn it back on to see if it turns back on. I have it in, I have it in a really good spot in my driveway. I have it facing towards the road, so if I need to tow it, I can tow it. But let's figure this out. Okay. Okay. So that's not a guarantee, right? Because the thing is, well, there's 2 things. Oh my gosh. One, the symptom I was having, like I said, just real quick, was it would take 2 cycles of the key, 2 to 3 cycles of the key in order for it to turn on. And even when I turn it off, that's what happens. So the fact that turned on the first cycle, on the first few cranks, I think is really good. Now I still have a check engine light, so I'm going to, that was there before, but I'm gonna go ahead and like scan that and then reset it, and then see if it comes back up. And then I also have my brake light and ABS light on, and that's been on for a while, which also messes with my speedometer. And because I have Progressive, their little snapshot device is plugged in, and from 0 to about 25 miles an hour, that doesn't work. And so once I surpass 25 miles an hour, it jumps up. And so Progressive thinks that I am accelerating really quickly, and it goes the same when it goes below 25, it just drops to 0. So it also thinks that I brake really hard. So I have to call them and talk to them and say, hey, I would like to do this another 6 months to tell you that I am a good driver. But it's a good start to the day. I went and got gas and I filled it up and whatnot. I do have to mow and do some other things today, but I just thought I think this is a good spot to end the video. I'm excited about this. I don't trust it 100% yet. because it only takes one time for it to not work to tell me that it didn't work. So that'll be it for today's video. If you liked it, be sure to smack that like button as hard as you can. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my YouTube channel, help me a lot, and turn on post notifications, and I'll see you guys all next time.